Hello everyone, welcome to chapter 135 on my RLDR Custom Creations YouTube channel. And you can see I'm standing beside one of my creations. So if you want to see how this works and how I built this, all you've got to do is stay tuned. Well, I couldn't help doing a few little word games with the creations part in my channel title. But yeah, this is something that I built. But before I get into that, yeah, this is the weekly edition. Running a little late this week, had a lot going on. We got back into teaching kids classes again Tuesday and Wednesday. So with them not being here the week before, my shop was a total disaster, not fit to have students in. And so I spent Sunday and Monday basically cleaning and organizing and getting things set up. And today's Thursday. It's later in the evening. Oh, not too late. Sun's still up. But spent the day in the city at doctor's appointments and things like that with the boss. So that's taking a bit of time, and it's frustrating at times. But we're going to leave it at that for now. Getting back to what this is. Well, when I started to plan dust collection for this shop, I bought, I would call it a first generation Clearview Cyclone. And it's the one where the MDF parts are not painted. It's not blue like the newer ones are. This is an older one, but it works great. In my initial plan, I had never planned to run it with small hand tools like the routers, palm sanders, you name it. I'd never planned for that. I thought for that I would have a separate vacuum, and so I built this thing. Now I must have built this thing, easily 10 years ago. And for a while there, these things were all the rage on the internet. And since I've spent the last 20 years writing a column every month, except summer, so 10 columns a year for the Saskatchewan Woodworkers Guild newsletter, I know I wrote about this thing, but I was looking through my computer earlier today, and you think I could find the article? No. Not that it's that important for this, but I built it, and I haven't used it much because I haven't really worked in my shop a whole lot yet. It's just been the last 2 years that I've been retired that I've gotten back in here. And there were so many other projects that I thought were more important that I hadn't really ran this thing at all yet. So I figured we used it in the house when we were drywall sanding and stuff like that. It actually worked really good for that. My wife really liked it. It was noisy, but boy, there was no dust. So that part's worked really good. So what I thought I would do this month is just kind of run you through how I made this. They're really simple to make. If you have a shop vac already, you're more than halfway there. And I thought I'd just show you what it was, how I made it. And then I thought I'd show it in action a little bit later on in the video. So well, let's dive into this thing, and let's start at the bottom with the shop vac itself. Okay, this is a rigid shop vac. It's 10 years ago, things were quite reasonably priced. I think I forget what I paid for it, but it wasn't much. I think it was under $100 at the time. So I bought it. It's what is it? I have to look at the back here. It is a 5-horse. It claims 5-horse, 60 liter or 16 imperial or US gallons. So it's got pretty good capacity, pretty good storage, and it's still, the footprint isn't too bad. So one of the things though, with my shop being as full as it is, this thing takes about a 2-foot by 2-foot space, and right now that's high dollar real estate in this place. It's tough. But we're going to try to make sure we can use it because I think collecting dust from those small tools is a really good idea. So anyway, the central vac or the shop vac is there. The debris pail, so what happens is the cyclone separates the heavy stuff out and it drops into the pail. And I'm pretty sure I must have copied this from somebody, but the pail has a gasket on the top, which is simply a piece of pipe insulation. I just opened it and spread it around, and we may as well, that's going to stay like that. And this just slides in, and you just put these clamps, and this one's sliding a bit now, and it lifts it up and pushes it tight, and it works perfectly. So, and of course it's the Home Depot pail to go with the theme. Then the little cyclone separator. And when I built this thing, there was a lot of debate about going with a dust deputy. They have a little one, and they were all the rage, and everybody was so happy with them. But they were quite expensive, and I bought this one, boy, I'm not sure, either off of Amazon or eBay. And it's a Chinese one. It had a nice Chinese sticker on it that fell off. And I think I paid about 30 bucks for it. And it works just fine. There's nothing wrong with it. So if you're paying a lot of money and you can't tell the difference, it's not worth it, in my opinion. So anyway, this is hooked up here. There's a power cord or power bar on the back that I can plug in. And then I have the shop vac and the cord. I have a cord on here that I can plug my sander or whatever into, and then I can operate it with a switch here. So that's kind of handy. No, it's not like a modern Festool or anything like that, but in Canada, the tax on one of those Festool vacuum setups, I could have built 3 of these for that. So yeah, not ragging on Festool. It's just they're really expensive. So yeah, and in the back here, I hooked this up solidly. This is 2-inch PVC pipe, and there's a hose clamp there, and it just goes on to the vacuum. And so there's about 3 feet of pipe here, and 1, 2, 3 90s. I think like 2 of them are street 90s as well. Okay, so that's that. Well, while we're at the back here, this arm that I built to support the hose, one of the things that was a concern for me was not to have the weight of the hose dragging around all the time. So I put it up high, and it seems to work not too bad. I like to put the hose on the table, though, when I'm using it. So I'll show you that later. But this is just a piece of pipe I had lying around. And then in here, there's just a piece of solid pipe or solid bar stock, and welded to a piece of flat iron with holes drilled in it and screwed on. And it doesn't have a bearing or anything in it, but it doesn't need it. It swings, stays in position, and it does what it's supposed to. So looking at, so yeah, we bent the pipe here. This is just in a cheap Princess Auto style pipe bender, and that's why it's kinked on the downsides. Not a mandrel belt, not a mandrel bend tube. Okay, the holders for the vacuum hose and the cord, I just fabricated out of 2x stock. This looks like I was using junk, so that's good. Use it up, and it seems to work decently. I'm quite happy with it. Okay, what else do we have to show you here? Oh, it's on wheels. The casters I stole off another piece of equipment, so technically they cost nothing. They were surplus. Oh, the stand itself. This stand itself is surplus pine. Like at the school shop, we had all kinds of little pieces like, in fact, now that I'm teaching classes out of my shop, I end up with the same pieces in here. Something that when we have 2x or 1x6 material and you cut 4 inches out of it, then you've got a piece left over, and you get enough of those pieces, you can make this. These pieces here, the flats are either, I'm not sure what they are, they've got such a nice thick coat of orange paint on them. It's either plywood, scraps of plywood, or pieces that I laminated together and sanded and painted. So let's see, is there anything else I left out here? I think we pretty much have the breakdown of all this. So if you want to um, make a copy of this and you're looking at what you need, and I would price it for you, but I don't really know what this stuff costs now. I haven't looked for any of it for a long time. Like I think this hose was about 40 bucks at Home Depot. I bet it's quite a bit more than that now. This thing I think was 30, but like if you go with a Dust Deputy, I think they were quite a bit more expensive. So but there's just basic things you can pick up at Home Depot or any place. And the orange paint, well, I thought since I was kind of on the Home Depot theme here anyway, and I like bright colors, and orange is easy to see in the shop, let's put it that way. As I get older, that might become quite important. So anyway, that's pretty much the unit that I built. Like I say, it's about 10 years old, but I bet it hasn't run 2 hours. So I'm going to drag it over to my work table and plug it in and hook up a palm sander to it and let you see how it works. Okay, I will be back in a bit. Well, it's all hooked up. I haven't plugged it in yet. Yeah, this it's all I think when I start using this thing more, I'm going to make the cords so that they work together because right now I've got too much here. So but that's something in the future. I still like using the quarter sheet palm sander, but I'm trying to switch away from them to the 5-inch hook and loop style sanders. Uh, Partly because, well, all because of the way my kids work in here. The hook and loop paper they can get on successfully, just lining up the holes and pressing it on. That's something easy for them to do, and I don't have to go through how to get the paper on, how to get it tight, and then how to punch the holes in it, because everybody forgets to punch the holes in it, and then this isn't as effective. So, but I'm finding that my hook and loop, I bought 2 new Bosch sanders over the last year, and both of them can't keep paper on worth a hoot. Like you turn it on, it goes bing, just sends them like orbiting into space, and that's not good. So, and I've kind of revamped everything. I've got all the paper now, all the hook and loop that we would need. I just need to get to stay on my sanders better. And if nobody gets back to me in the comments and tells me how to do that, it appears to me that the Velcro on the sander side isn't effective, especially on those 2 Bosches. It's really smooth. So I need to figure out what to do. And I've played with this before, so I have a bit of an idea, but I'm always open to suggestions. So if you've got a great idea for me, put it in the comments, please. How to have hook and loop paper stay on the sander. Thank you. Okay, so I should plug this in too. I forgot to do that. Here I'm all set up and ready to go, and I'm not. There we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this on, and you'll notice right away, unfortunately you won't see it, but I notice when I turn the vacuum on, I can feel the air around the sander moving into it. So through these holes and the holes in the bottom, it is sucking really, really nicely. So let's turn this on, and then we'll talk a little bit after. Okay, I'm sanding a scrap of oak with fresh 100 grit paper installed correctly. The only problem I had is when I was hooking this up, the plastic on this adapter is so fragile because this is old, and I broke one little section off, so I had to tape the hose on. But yeah, there's a little bit of dust yet, but not much. And in fact, I was impressed because I don't know if you noticed it, but I'd hold the sander in one place and push down a little bit, and it would actually stick in place a little bit. So I was quite impressed with that. Um, yeah, there, like I say, there's a little bit of dust on here, very little. So I would say the dust collection part of this is a win. This actually works quite well. Um, if I was not shooting video, I would have put this unit back here and ran the hose this way. Now it's resting on the table, but it's a little harder to deal with. I don't know how to explain it. It's almost like it makes the sander heavy. So that I don't like, but there's a way around that. Just run the hose differently. And who knows, maybe now they make a little lighter hose than this. That might be a way to go if you're going to build one. Um, the downsides of this. Well, now I don't know what this is going to sound like on the video because um, my microphone system that I use kind of does weird things with tool noises. I should maybe just not even use it for when we're doing something with tools and let that sound come through. I find it loud. But I like a quiet shop. I like to work where it's quiet. Like maybe I have my TV on in the background. There's some podcast going that I can kind of, it's filler noise. I like that, but I don't like vacuum noises. And that's something I'm going to deal with my dust collector as well. That it's just too loud, especially when you're trying to give students instruction. It's just too loud. So if we were running that thing and this thing in here, and I had a group in here, yeah, it'd be really loud. But I bet you with a better shop vac, a newer one, you could get something to be a little quieter. The other option would maybe be closing the bottom in to some degree so that you could isolate it and insulate it. That's another option. So there's always options. And I think what it takes is, as a woodworker, being creative. Like don't let a problem just, I can't do anything about it. Like, what could I do? How can I make that quieter? How can I make that suck better? Those things, and that's up to you as an individual to try to figure out. Hopefully, if you watch some of my videos or watch all of them, it'd be great. You can take some ideas from me. Now, I don't expect you to copy things. In fact, I haven't got to the point where I'm doing plans or step-by-step things, but my goal is to give you an idea. How could I do this? Oh, he did it that way. Oh, that sucked. That was terrible. I'm going to do it way better. Go for it. Do it way better than I do it. Okay, well, I think that kind of brings the test part of this to an end. I'm really impressed with the way this thing works. And maybe, boy, hooking it up to the router, that would be a good thing to do to get all those chips carried away right away. So anyway, yeah, I think it's worthwhile. Like I say, I don't have a lot invested in this. Definitely less than a Festool or a Mirka sanding system. I mean, they're both great, but they're expensive. And if you make your living doing it and they save you time, then they're worth it. But if you're a hobbyist with enough money to do it, but not enough to go crazy, make some of your own stuff. I think you'll find it enjoyable to do. So anyway, on that note, we're going to close this one off. Just to let you know, boy, when was that? Boy, just after I posted the weekend edition last week, or maybe even, anyway, we are past 500. I think we're about 8 or 10 subscribers now past 500. So that means that the Frosty giveaway will probably be the next video. So I would think maybe Sunday I'll figure out, I have a way figured out to make the draw, and a way to have the winner contact me via, secure methods, and then we'll get an address and we'll mail it out or drop it off or whatever. So I know I have a couple of locals that have their names in, and some that I don't know where they're from, because I'm pretty much internet illiterate in that sense yet. So, but I'm learning. So anyway, thank you so much for the support. Yeah, 500 is a good start. We'll just try to keep going. So with that in mind, that brings the weekly edition to a close. And yeah, please like, share, and subscribe. And I don't say it, I always put it in my little comment at the end of this, but thanks for watching. Because without you guys watching, none of this is possible. And right now, we're not generating income or anything from this yet, but this is a step towards that. So thank you for being a part of that. All right, take care. The weekend edition's coming up. Have a great weekend, a great Friday, great weekend, and we'll see you on the weekend edition.